The working title of this speech is going to be Children Are a Blessing. My wife and I always spoke about and dreamed about having a son and a daughter. In September of 2011, we had our first child, a little girl named Evie. She's an incredible little 3-year-old. She thinks that I am the greatest man that ever walked the earth. She is my right hand, and she loves to do everything with Daddy. Whether it's working around the house, working at my office, she has her own workstation. She wants to be right there with me. She wants to do everything Daddy does, and I have to be careful that I set a good example for her. When the time came this past summer and I learned that we were going to have a son, I knew that our family would soon be complete, our natural family anyway. My wife and I have talked about if we decide to expand our family from here on out, it'll be through adoption. But when I learned that we were going to have a boy, I lost all track of time, I lost all reason, and I didn't know what to do. I started to focus so much on the minuscule details. How would we make this work with our family growing? What are we going to do? How can I increase my income? How are we going to adjust to the cost of living going up? How are we going to adjust to the rising cost of health care? What can I do to make this work? Relying on myself and what I thought I could do was my greatest downfall. I began to panic. I began to stress about little things that in the end really didn't matter. My wife and I, our family is a family of faith, and we believe that we'll always be provided for and our needs will always be met. So my big mistake was trying to rely on myself, and I believe that in focusing so much on what I thought I had to do to make it all work, I took away from the joy that having a new child brought into this world would carry with it. This past week, my wife gave birth to our little boy, and holding him in my arms, seeing how vulnerable he is, how fragile he is, and how much he depends on us to care for him, I could see in myself how vulnerable and helpless I am, and how much I need to lean on others, and to lean on God to provide for us. It's become very evident that when I rely on myself, that's when I become the most vulnerable. But not sharing these burdens with my wife was a great mistake for me. Not being able to communicate with her and trying to carry these burdens all on my own were a huge mistake. So now that I see that my family relies on me not just for protection, not just to provide for them, but to set an example for them and to make a way for them, I can see a greater purpose in my life. I can see that there should be no panic and apprehension about growing a family. Children are a blessing. They're not a curse. Children are a blessing. Every day that we live, every day that we're able to spend time with these children and to love on them and to impart knowledge into them is a blessing. And I'm just so thankful for the opportunity I have to be a father and to be a husband and to be everything that I feel like I have been called to do in this life, and everything that I've been afforded the opportunity to share with them.